Um, People overrate landing spot. Okay, so this is a video about Terrace Marshall. As I'll probably put in the title. Uh, but it's about more than that. It's about like philosophy and um stuff. Socrates writing and Nietzsche. So Terrace Marshall and why landing spots are overrated. Okay, so Terrace Marshall has a very good prospect profile. Okay, prospect profile. I like it more than most people do. Okay, so I'm not gonna go through the year-by-year stats because that's not the point of the video. But I'm gonna give you the basis just to establish how good his profile is. Right. So he's 6'2", 205 with a 26 BMI, and in a class that's pretty small, that stands out more than it should. Right. He was very talented coming out. He was the number one prospect by 24/7 Sports, and he has scored 23 touchdowns in his last 19 games in college at LSU, right? His dominator is in the 63rd percentile, and his age 19 breakout is in the 84th percentile. So he's a really, really solid prospect, right? And given that he was doing this, sharing the field with guys like Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson, I mean, you've heard the argument with like teammate score and whatever. Um, he's really good, and we expected him to get day one draft capital, or not. We didn't expect him, but like it was possible. But he ended up sliding to the second round, which I mean it's not great, but he goes to the Panthers, which is a pretty friendly situation, right? But that's not the point. He's a very 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 good prospect. Um, and now people are trying to move him up or down because of his landing spot, and I'm here to tell you why. Because Carolina is actually one of the premier spots for proving this point, right? So he goes there. The team has Robbie Anderson. The team has DJ Moore. The team has Christian McCaffrey. The team has Joe Brady. And the team has Sam Darnold, okay? 1 year ago, at this time, the team had Curtis Samuel instead of Robbie Anderson, okay? The team had Teddy Bridgewater as a quarterback. The team did not have Joe Brady, okay? So those three things are very, 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 very important to Terrace Marshall's success, right? But just 1 year later, three key things changed, and they could change again, okay? Because Robbie Anderson is under contract for just one more year. He might be out of there. Curtis Samuel already left for free agency, and he went to the football team, right? Sam Darnold comes in instead of Teddy Bridgewater. Sam Darnold comes in, and Joe Brady becomes the mind behind this, or the mind behind LSU. He comes in and he's this like big head honcho. But 1 year from now, he could be a head coach. He's a prime candidate, okay? And given that 1 year ago, all these things were different. Samuel was there. Anderson wasn't. Teddy Bridgewater was there, right? 1 year later, all those things are different, okay? And 1 year from now, they could all be different. But one thing remains the same with a prospect, and it's how good they are. It's their profile, okay? So Carolina is rebuilding, and there's a lot of turmoil within their coaching staff. Not turmoil. What's the word I'm looking for? There's a lot of shuffling of people, right? And like I said, Darnold could faceplant and fail, and he could not be the quarterback next year. Anderson's likely gone. Joe Brady could be gone, okay? The only thing that's going to be there is DJ Moore and probably Matt Rule, okay? But Matt Rule doesn't impact the coaching or the whatever that much. I mean, Brady could be gone, so could Darnold, Anderson. Like, all these things are changing potentially next year. And last year they changed. The Panthers are a prime spot for this. And it just shows that if people are pushing down Terrace Marshall in the rankings because of his landing spot, you should buy in. Because the only thing that remains the same in this whole thing is their profile. Same thing for Rashad Bateman, okay? Is his landing spot good? No, it's not. But shit changes, okay? Shit changes very fast. And he's a really, really, really good prospect. So you can't push up a guy like who? You can't push up on Elijah Moore over Rashad Bateman. You can't do that. You can't push up. I mean, like, I'm not saying like this happened, but you can't push up on Amon-Ra St. Brown. Oh my God, over Rashad Bateman. You can't do that just because they go to a good spot because he's the better prospect. Terrace Marshall is a very, 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 very good prospect. Okay, 1 year ago, his team had a different quarterback, a different wide receiver too, and a different coach or play caller. And 1 year from now, he could have a different quarterback, a different wide receiver too, and a different play caller. Like all these things could change this fast. What doesn't change though is how good he is as a player. So if for some reason Terrace Marshall is being pushed down for his landing spot, but you know he's a good player, draft him. And this goes for every player. So this video once again, it's about like Terrace Marshall at at its core because Carolina is a very good spot to like demonstrate this. But it goes for any player that's good and is in a bad spot, right? It goes for Rashad Bateman. It goes for Terrace Marshall, like I was saying. It goes for everyone that is being pushed down due to landing spot, but they're very solid. So yeah, go ahead and draft Terrace Marshall. Go ahead and draft Rashad Bateman, and lean on the profile, guys, because that's the only thing that is constant, right? Shit changes so fast in the NFL. Like I mean, like guys, last year, going into the offseason, or going into the season, we were like, yo, Josh Allen's ass. Stephon Diggs was going in like what, the 5th or 6th round, right? Now he's a fucking 2nd round pick. You know, like shit changes. People get better and worse, and people leave. People get hurt. Everything happens, but what doesn't change is the profile. So go ahead and draft Terrace Marshall. Go ahead and draft Rashad Bateman. Go ahead and draft these guys that are very solid in bad spots because likely the talent wins out. And if the talent doesn't win out, at least you know you had a good process and you were buying into something, right? Look at CEH. Look at Trey Sermon this year. Okay, guys? That doesn't work out when you draft the landing spot over the talent. Okay? Go ahead and draft these guys that are good, and I promise it'll be good.